Hey, this is Louis D. Fresh bringing it to you on a Monday afternoon. I hope you're doing well. This will air on Sunday, December 24th, also known as Christmas Eve. So I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa and Happy everything. If you celebrate nothing, have a happy day. Thank you, because this is my last video of 2023. I started this endeavor at the tail end of July of 2020, trying to figure things out on how to shoot a video and what to do, and finally just kind of making it finally happen. I think probably in the fall of 2020, and then COVID. This was my COVID project, and I've kind of gone with it since. So thank you to all of you. And so we're going to finish up this 2023 with what to do during your Christmas break, holiday break, winter break, if you are a college applicant. So here we go, college applicants, what to do over the break. Whether Christmas break, winter break, whatever you want to call it, break. Some people have about a week and a half. Some people have 2 weeks like I do. What do you do instead of saying, well, look, I could just hang out? What do you do? Number one, finish up those college essays. Make sure that the college essays address the topics and are directed to each individual college. Make sure that the topic you stay on. That's a really better choice of words. Stay on topic. I'm being silly. If you're writing about rabbits, you stay with rabbits and don't tell me about dogs. Stay with the topic. And with each individual college, make sure that you whatever your essay is, if you are writing about a particular school to a particular school, that it stays with that particular school. Example, if I'm writing that I always wanted to be in the University of Central Florida and you are sending this to the University of Florida, they are immediately going to dismiss you. So make sure that it is on topic and that it's to each individual college. Next thing that you should be doing over the winter break for you, the college applicant, is make sure that you check that you have submitted any required supplements. Required. Keyword is required. I know people are like, oh, but it's suggested. Make sure what I suggested is wonderful. Suggested is suggested. Make sure that whatever it is that they want, that you give. And make sure, I know it sounds weird, but that you hit, this is 2023 going into 2024. You should be doing everything online. Make sure that you hit that button that says that you have submitted it before you actually get locked out. And also that is not here about your required supplements. Make sure that you write down somewhere any type of password that you may need. Make sure that everything that you're thinking that whatever it is, make sure that you have those passwords. Make sure that those supplements are indeed submitted. Don't assume that you clicked it, because as an example, hold on one second. As an example, I was doing something for one of my, and I'm in my office, my as you can see there with my little banners and the little fish tank that I'm going to talk about next year. That is fish tank number 9. That I was doing something for one of my former counselors, and she moved out to Texas, and she needed my help with, it was a reference letter for her stuff for Austin, Texas, for public schools. And to be honest, I did not press the submit button, and I had realized, like, why isn't it? What's going on? Why is it not? And it's because I didn't press it. And so don't assume that that it's done. Make sure that you click on that submit button, because I just did it today. I literally forgot to press the submit button. So double, triple check. All right, number 3, proofread. Proofread. One of my big things, and this is just me, and I like this picture, that's why I chose it, is that most everything is now on a computer. It should be anyway. What I would do, in my opinion, is to take that computer, print it out, and then you see right here, that's why I like this picture. You see how this gentleman, I think it's a gentleman, who's literally marking it up and doing whatever they got to do. It just looks a lot better when you see it. Use a red marker if you need to. And instead of looking at it on the screen, you're looking at the printed copy so that you can actually start marking it up. And proofread for spelling. please make sure everything is spelled right. I'm not trying to be funny. Make sure that your name is spelled right, your address is spelled right, that everything that your school is spelled right. I know it sounds weird, but everything, make sure is spelled correctly. Punctuation, if you want a period, there's a comma, there's a colon, there's an exclamation point, a question mark. Make sure that you're using the correct, make sure there's not one big old run-on sentence that you're not writing, and there's no stops. Formatting, make sure that you use, you notice here on the little picture here, there's a little spacing, and there's a little indentation here for right here. For paragraphs, make sure it's formatted correctly. Make sure that it's accurate, that your information is accurate, that you're not just making stuff up. Oh yes, I went to Africa and I saw 55 elephants. No. Don't make stuff up. Make sure that it is accurate. So that's why we're talking about proofread. Number 4, again with the submission thing, make sure that the letters of recommendation, if it is required, that they are submitted. Your reference letter, this is also on my thumbnail. Make sure your reference letters are submitted. Make sure that there is no room for question marks. That there's no, well, maybe, I think he or she did it, could be, possibly. No, there shouldn't be, well, there could be. Make sure that they are submitted, and make sure those letters of recommendations, the one that you're asking for, make sure, that's why I chose this little cartoon here. Make sure they're gonna give you a glowing review. Just because they're an English teacher, math teacher, does not necessarily mean that's who you're gonna pick. If you're a music teacher, your art teacher, the ones that you know for sure are gonna give you that glowing recommendation, or that PE teacher, that's who you choose. So that is very important in terms of getting the quality reference letter. Make sure that they are also submitted. Don't assume that they are indeed submitted. Make sure, double, triple check that they are submitted. Number five, a check that all applications, your college applications, are paid, or in my case, all my volunteer school, I'm a nice guy and I have fee waivers for all my students, so they can submit their colleges, because all the school that I volunteer in, they all get free lunch, and so then they all get free government lunch. They're entitled to fee waivers, in case you're wondering. And make sure that with that fee waiver, what do I mean by that? That you should be able to see a thank you that is paid, or a fee waiver. There should be a thank you. You should be receiving an email saying thank you, and that you should save that. In my opinion, you should save it both in an electronic folder and an actual folder, folder. You see, these are folders here I got for my counselors, and both. I would do both. Make sure that when all these things we're talking about with your reference letter, make sure that it was submitted, print it out, save a copy. Make sure whatever it is that you submitted your application. Make sure you get a copy, a thank you for submitting it. Make sure you have it, because things it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while, I would say 1%, a solid 1% of applications, fee waivers, fees, stuff, they do get lost, because we're talking about thousands on top of thousands on top of thousands of applications. I'd say a solid 1% do get lost. So this way you have proof to, because then you're gonna have to do it all over again. Save it. Save all these things, especially that you have paid it, because if you don't pay, they won't review. All right, number 6. Add a safety school. What do I mean by safety school? Is an open admission school. What do I mean by open admission? Look back at my archives. Open admission also means that you will be admitted just because you have a GED, a graduate equivalency diploma, or a high school diploma, no matter what your grades are. And that is spectacular, because I can't lie, the backbone of this city is this school right here, Miami-Dade College. There are so many students, for whatever reason, just didn't do well in school, or they just don't want to look up for what do they call those things, financial aid or whatever, or the parents say no, you have to stay home. This guarantees that you will go to school, and it is something in your pocket that is assuring you that you will go to college. So I absolutely, you're like, but no, make sure you apply to a safety school, and that safety school should be an open admission school so that you are absolutely positively guaranteed that you are going to go to college no matter what takes place. Number 7, thank you notes. Make sure, and then I'm old fashioned, as you saw in my social media. I'm an old fashioned kind of guy. For those who have wrote letters of recommendation, those teachers, those coaches, those instructors, those whatever, that make sure that those people that wrote letters for you and anyone who helped you on the application. I know that would be me for my volunteer school, but you don't need to thank me. But I mean, for all those people who maybe looked over your essay or whatever it may be, or kind of gave you some encouragement, or maybe paid for your application, whatever it may be, make sure that you write them. You see my little envelope here, and you see a little handwritten envelope here. Make sure that you handwrite it. But I don't want to handwrite it. Oh, do the handwriting. It goes a long way. Don't give him a text message. Don't give him a little electronic, hey, thank you. No. Handwrite it. It goes, did I say that? Handwrite it. It goes a very long way. Thank you notes. Last but not least, this is the reason I put the date specifically, is that because you might be watching this maybe in 2033, 2043, 2053. This is very specific to this particular year we're talking about. We're talking about 2023, 2024. The FAFSA will be available. The free application for federal aid will be available on December 31st, 2023. Honestly, people are going to be, we're going to have a little party and get together and all. You're not going to do it. So do it, after you wake up. I know you're going to be out all night. Start it on the 1st. It's a Monday this year, 2024. Start it on that evening. Take your time, because it is the building blocks here, the little blocks. This is your free money. This is your foundation to financial aid. So get it started. Write it down. Put it a reminder on your phone. January 1st, 2024, because the early bird does indeed catch the worm. January 1st, 2024. Start your free application for financial aid and look back on my archives and recent archives on getting started with your FAFSA. And that, my dear friends, is what you should be working on for your college applications 2023-2024. I know it's my break. It's everybody's break. But that whole thing, like with sports, if you're not practicing, somebody else is. So if you see people in like any old game, you're like, wow, they're playing so wonderfully because they've been practicing. So this is the same thing here. If you want to get into your good college, that quality college, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the effort. You got to put in the time. So that's my little message to you over the holiday winter break or whatever it is. College applicants, don't just sit back. I got a week and a half. I got a week off. I got 2 weeks off. I can just hang out. No, make use of your time, because if you're not making use of that time, somebody else is. Thank you again, and we'll see you in I think it's right around January 12th that I'll be back, something like that. I'm gonna take 2 weeks off. Last week in December, first week off, and I think everybody goes. No, I remember now. I'll see you on the social media on Tuesday, January 9th. And I think the next video is going to be on January 14th, 2024. That's enough. Louis D. Fresh, make it a great one. Thank you again for following.